I love a good cup of pour over, but I don't love the process of making a pour over. It's kind of time consuming. And for single cup convenience, we turn to machines like Keurig or Nespresso. But then you have the guilt of the waste, questionable coffee freshness. The ideal device would be an automatic pour over that gives me as much flexibility or as much simplicity as I want to have. xBloom reached out to me and they asked me to review their new studio version of this automatic pour over, the xBloom Studio. I was really honored because a few great coffee experts like James Hoffman and Lance Hedrick have reviewed it as well. So a link to a playlist with those videos along with other great coffee related reviews that I've made will be made available at the end of this video. I am a huge fan of the Clever Dripper, but I'm a really busy guy, so I like some things to be automatic and I really like consistency. I've perfected my brew on this Breville coffee maker, which I've reviewed in the past. I love it and use it every day. But it's really dialed in for a larger volume, like 6 to 8 cups. The xBloom promises to be an all-in-one automatic pour-over that should produce perfect and consistent results that I can dial into my heart's desire. But I'm skeptical. I don't like coffee makers that have integrated coffee grinders in them. I feel like the company will either compromise the quality of the grinder or the coffee maker or both to save money. So I really want to test the grind quality. If they can pull it off and make an automated cup of pour over that is just as good as my Clever Dripper, and if the grinder is a good quality grinder, I'll be really impressed. There are some well-known coffee experts behind this product like Lance and Scott Rayo. They sent me this machine for free. They did not pay me to review it, and I decided to do things a little differently with this review. I intentionally asked the company to review my video before I released it.
What?
That's right. Here's why. There are quite a few moving parts to this machine. It has a built-in precision scale, 3 different levels of automation that give you unlimited control, online recipe sharing, recipe management, its own app, and since everything can be customized, I wanted to make sure that if the machine didn't meet my expectations, that it was my fault and not the fault of the machine or the app. That is where the involvement ends. They cannot sway or change my opinion of this machine. Once I review it, after it has been determined that I was doing everything correctly, if it does what it's supposed to do, I'm going to either love it or hate it or somewhere in between. We'll find out. The beauty of this machine is that it fits in a very small footprint, only roughly 6.5 inches by 8 inches and 17 inches tall.
First you add water, and I like how the water tank removes and replaces easily.
The water tank can hold 32 ounces of water. However, in a more permanent environment, like in an office, it could be connected directly to a water supply with an additional external pressure device that is sold separately.
Once you plug it in, it prompts you for measurement preference like Fahrenheit milliliters. It asks you if you're using the water tank or piping directly to plumbing. Then it calibrates for about a minute. This is only for an initial setup. Once you set up an account, the app connects seamlessly. I love that. Setup was a breeze.
The Omni Dripper attachment allows you to use your own beans. They do sell pods of coffee that you can use with this machine, and each type of coffee has a scan code card and its own profile that automatically configures the machine to brew what xBloom feels will be the perfect cup. It is totally customizable to your taste. The card that comes with their pods gives you information about the beans. I would really be impressed if in the future they would also include a roast date on that card. For me, the most important aspect of a coffee roast is not only how well the coffee is roasted, but how fresh the coffee is. That's why I choose to roast my own beans. Let's look at the Nespresso pods, for example. They cost around $1.25 a piece. And say you find a really good roaster, a local roaster, and they charge you a premium for their coffee, a really good pound of coffee, say $30. It's kind of high. A cup of coffee usually contains around 8.25 grams or so of coffee. Based on that number, there are roughly 55 cups of coffee in a pound. Now, each cup in the end of a pound of coffee really only winds up costing you around 55 cents. If you have a cup of coffee a day, you'll be saving close to $250 a year and drinking a really, really good and fresh roast. The xBloom should give you all that you need to make that happen effortlessly. Let's find out.
The xBloom is really a 4-in-1 machine. You have an integrated scale.
Now the scale is under this grid, and they claim it to be accurate to 0.1 of a gram. So this is a 200-gram test weight. You press scale. It's tared to 0 right now. So let's just see how accurate it is. 199.9. In this corner, it is 200.3. Let me make sure this is sitting right on here. 200.2. But if you put it in the center, which is kind of where you're going to be weighing stuff, there is a variation of 0.1. It says that it will be, it's 200.1. Seems like there is some fluctuation in the weight. I think it's good enough. You can use it just for the hot water feature, for making tea if you wish, or ramen. According to an email that I did send to the company, you cannot calibrate the water temperature. Now, unlike the original xBloom, the Studio version is capable of grinding espresso. So you can use the xBloom Studio as a standalone grinder, which is really cool. The lid of the water chamber has a chart on it that gives you the grind settings, 1 being the finest and 80 the coarsest. On the xBloom, it's done digitally with this knob. xBloom adjusts the spacing of the burrs accordingly. It uses 48mm conical burrs, which is interesting. I don't mind conical burrs. It just seems that I gravitate more towards coffee ground on flat burrs. Are the standard conical burrs any good? I hope that they are. I contacted xBloom and they won't allow me to change the burrs. It would void the warranty. So I hope they're really good. You can also control the grind speed from 60 to 120 RPM. I'm not sure if that's a necessary feature because it's such a limited range. But, you know, Scott Rayo, he's pretty heavily invested in perfecting filtered brews, and I'm very curious to test the grind speeds for the flavor, particle consistency, and extraction percentages. I want to test the accuracy of the grind size, and I want to see if it makes any kind of difference if you go from the different speed levels. So I want to test it at the lowest, which is 60, the highest, which is 120, and 90, which is somewhere in the middle. This is a particle analyzer as well as a color analyzer. So what I want to do is grind some beans on the 3 different settings, and I want to see how accurate they are for espresso. Now on the top of the lid, espresso is from 1 to 10. I'm just going to choose 5, somewhere in the middle there. And I'm going to compare it to the Ditting grinder, which is a $6,000 or $5,500 grinder that I compared in a previous video. I want to see how tight the results are on the particle analyzer. Drop some beans, close the lid. First speed that I'm going to do is 60. The grind size I'll do is 5. Put our little dosing cup underneath here and hit start. So this is the 60. Let's do 90. I'm going to set my grind speed to the max, which is 120. Put it in the center of our analyzer. Pop it down. Looking to get a good disbursement there. And we take a meter and we press particle and wait.
Here we have the particle analyzations of all 3 speeds compared to a previous analyzation I did using espresso grinds from the Ditting grinder. We want the majority of the groupings to be closer together. We have a nice grouping for all 3 grinds at the different RPMs, and that's good. We do not want grinds to be in the pan region. This is more like a fine dust that we're trying to avoid. It seems like the faster the RPMs, the greater percentage of grinds that fall into the pan range. With the Ditting, we have a nice peak at 30% and a tight grouping. That's favorable, but all 3 of the RPM grinds compared to the Ditting are really good.
Finally, it's a pour over, but not just the typical pour over. It slides to the left, grinds the beans according to your preference and weight choices. It slides to the right and begins the pour over. You can control how the water spout pours over the coffee, either circular, centered, or spiral, as well as the flow rate from 3 to 3.5 milliliters per second, and how many milliliters are poured onto the coffee. You have complete control of the entire process with the app, including bloom times. Additionally, you can control the water flow in stages, say 3 or let's say a 5-stage pour. The water temperature, flow rate, flow direction, volume, and ratio of grinds to water can all be adjusted manually. It's pretty impressive. You can also program how much or how little you want the grounds to be physically shaken or agitated. This is definitely well thought out. The machine is designed to simulate the motion of a pour-over as if it were being made by a barista. Now, since the water flow is so precise, I'm really curious to see if the water flow affects flavor. When I pour by hand, I can't have this level of consistency. I want to see if the flavor of the coffee changes with the different grind speeds. I'm going to grind them at 20. I'm going to do 60, 90, and the max 120. So I'm going to start by tearing my scale. I'm going to do 150 milliliters of water to 9 grams. All right, so now I'm going to use my app to program the machine. Create a recipe. I'm going to turn the grinder off. You don't need the grinder on. We ground everything already. I'm going to use the setting for the Omni dripper. My dose is going to be 9 grams. And the water ratio, I want it to be around 150. So here it's 148. It's a 1 to 16.5. Fine. We take our cup that we're going to use. I'm going to put it underneath here. They come with their own filter sizes. I'm not sure if they're standard or not. I'm just going to wet mine real quick because that's what I do. And we'll start with the 60. Put it on there. I want the flow to be swirled. I want the flow rate to be max, say 3.5 milliliters. I want it to pause for 20 seconds. I want agitation to be on. Okay, so that's the first one. I like that everything's magnetic, so you can just pop it out. Let's do our El Salvador recipe again. Didn't save it? That sucks. Try again. When I set this one up, the second one, it poured right down the middle. I'm gonna leave it. I want to see the difference here. It seems lighter, so we're gonna actually test it with a refractometer to see what the extraction actually is. So the first one I'm gonna taste here is the one that was ground at 30 RPM. I really like the color. It's exactly the way I like the color of my coffee to be. I mean, it's a delicious cup, very smooth, a lot of floral flavors. All the notes that I would get by making this with my Breville are there. It's really, really delicious. Now this one here seems a little cloudy to me. Let's see if I could tell the difference, if there's a flavor difference here. I do feel like this had more aroma to it, the flavors of the berry, a little bit more pungent on the cocoa end of it. This is a little bit more tame. Drink a little of that. These are really, really well done. This is absolutely delicious. I love all three of them. The spiral actually gives a better taste. Why don't we test the extraction on this and see if the different grind speeds actually affect the extraction of the coffee. This is distilled water. I'm just going to use that to rinse out my pipettes and rinse the lens there. Calibrate it. Reading. Okay. So that's 0. Let's do the 60. Getting 1.32 extraction. Total dissolved solids is 1.32. Clean the lens a little bit. Let's do the 90. 0.92. Much less when you pour right down the middle. Let's do the 120. 1.22. So really the faster was, it seemed like there was a less extraction. I don't have an answer, but I'll tell you what, I'll take any one of these for a cup of coffee any day. Much happier with the spiral. This is very interesting to me. The original xBloom Studio that they sent to me comes with a pack of coffee. This is gonna be the first time that I'm doing it on camera. Let's see how simple it is right out of the gate without any practice. And the first thing you get is this plant-based pod. So we're gonna do the Monarch, and it comes with a built-in filter. The beans are there. All right, so it's telling me from the get-go that I should put the beans in. They're pretty lightly roasted beans, interesting. Put the X pod onto the dock, which is this. Now you can take it off if you want. Pop it in, and then I love this, the whole magnetic infrastructure. This is pretty cool. Let's go. Wait, pause, stop. Wait, stop. Let's start this again. Okay, so a little bit of confusion here. So let's just take the NFC card, press NFC on the phone. It's scanned in the Monarch, so we start from fresh. That's the recipe I want to use, not the El Salvador. Come back to Monarch, where are you? I'm gonna try to make this without using the app because I couldn't figure out how to do it with the app. Okay, pick the coffee, and I should be able to hit play, and that should work. Oh, see, that works, but the app wouldn't work. It wouldn't allow me to start this particular roast with their app. It's grinding the beans, agitating it. Looks like it spends a little time during the bloom process. The color is beautiful. I never expected this roast to be so dark. It looks like the coffee is done. Really enjoyable. I'm impressed because usually these companies, they put out these roasts, they're kind of harsh, they're bitter. This is smooth, there's no bitterness at all. On the card itself, dark chocolate, molasses, red wine, dried berries, thick and syrupy. Definitely tasting the molasses and the dark chocolate, not so much the red wine. That's very, very impressive. I just wish I can get it to work on the app. Let me reach out to the company, see what I did wrong, and move on. I think the xBloom is a far better alternative than Keurig or Keurig style machines, both environmentally and definitely the quality and the taste of the coffee. The one thing I like about the X-Pods is that there is a really nice selection of coffee to choose from. The pods range in price, and they do offer a bit of a discount if you subscribe or buy in volume. As far as the machine is concerned, I find it to be incredibly well made. The grinder works exceptionally well. I really like using my Clever Dripper, and I'm not limited with this machine. I could still use it just by coming over here and putting it underneath there and brewing my coffee in my Clever Dripper. You could tear the scale, set it all up just the way you would, and it'll pour the right amount of water based on the number of grinds that you set up in the app, which is kind of neat. And what I do like about it is there's actually a setting that will allow you to make coffee using other than their pods, other than the Omni Dripper. There's another setting, so the other could easily be your Clever Dripper. I do enjoy when the water sits in the grounds and then it's released. So I'm not limited by this in any way, which is wonderful. And apparently there's a setting for this. I don't have an AeroPress, but apparently you can set it up so that it will work directly with your AeroPress if you have one. Let's talk a little bit about the glitch with the app. This is why I wanted to contact xBloom and make sure that I was doing the right thing. We've been back and forth about it. By the time this video is released, that glitch should be fixed. So I'm thankful that I reached out to them rather than bash them for something that is easily resolvable. Would I purchase it? I think I would. It is a little pricey at $500, but it's worth it. I mean, think about it. If you were to buy a really good grinder, which this one is, that would run you roughly $350 to $500. A good kettle is, maybe 60 to 100 bucks, and this is automated. I like the fact that you could plug water directly into it if you choose to do that, so you don't have to deal with filling up the water chamber, especially if you're using it at work. And I gotta tell you, I am very, very impressed with this coffee. I'm really glad they sent it to me. It's exactly what I like in a coffee. The Monarch blend that comes with it. Hey, in a pinch, I would buy this and keep it. I think it's absolutely outstanding. I'm very impressed with it. Overall, I think this machine is great. I hope that you've used it. If you have, let me know by leaving a comment down below. As promised, right here is a link to videos that will give you more information about what I found to be useful for coffee makers, pour overs, the best way to use your coffees, and the videos that talk about this machine from other experts. Cheers.